So welcome back. So let's just take a look at this 06 I picked up about a week ago. Now when I got it, the plastic and everything looked a lot more grimy and had a lot of old glue residue for stickers or old decals on here, and it was filled with the black dots you see here. Still some of them left. On the rear fender I used some lacquer thinner to get off some of it, and I've given it a preliminary wash, and yeah, got it a bit cleaner. Need to go to town to get the rest of the grime on. I'll show you some of it. First glance you can tell Nerf bar nets are not in very good shape, but the Nerf bars themselves are okay for this style of Nerf bars. And yeah, of course we have some rub off from the boots on the frame. Actually some of this was done by me, because I picked this quad up on the way to a race, and my number one race bike, I ruined the rear sprocket and everything, and it's on my hybrid, and I think the bearing broke and everything back there. Not good. It was egg-shaped, the rear sprocket on my hybrid. Not good. So for the second moto I just put a kill switch on this and got it ready to race the second heat. Completely untested bike, other than making sure it was running and the gears were working when I picked it up. And well, it did cut out a bit, so I need to go through it, but that was the plan anyway. So what I'm gonna do first is drain the fuel. I filled some fresh fuel in it, but it still had some old one that's probably been in there for a long time. Premium fuel, but still it can do bad things to your fuel system anyway. And a lot of times the swirl filter under the tank, the fuel filter there, are well, usually they've been in there for a few years, and yeah, there's a lot of dirt and grime and sometimes rust in those, so I gotta clean that out. This one actually had no cherry bomb, but they had puddled the baffle. Still had the lid on the airbox, so I just ran it like that, and that may be some of the reason of the cutting. If you pull the baffle in the rear, they do like to have the cherry bomb in to get some more fuel, and then pull the lid off the airbox to get some more air for the fuel. But as I cleaned off the first parts, you can tell there's not a lot of pitting on the shocks. Some, but very little for an 06, I think. A-arms in pretty good shape. There's no play in the front end at all when I That's very unusual when you buy a bike like this that's been ridden on the fields and back roads. There's the obvious. You can tell on the plastic here it took a tumble. You can tell on the rear here as well. I want to put on full bore front fenders. Yeah, just because I like that better these days or any of the race cuts. This is the OEM stickers, not a reproduction. You can tell there's some metallic in these decals. The OEM ones have that. I would say the reproductions don't. Not normally, at least. And but I'm gonna get some reproductions for the front decal here when I get the other plastics and all the others, plus this little piece here I'm gonna need. Other than that, you can tell there's not a lot of wear on the plastic here. There's some, but usually there's more. And around here we get a lot of rubbing from the riding boots when they are raised. So I don't think this one has been raised at the tracks very much, but been ridden in fields and back roads. You can see there's not a lot of boot rub on the frame on this side. It's not been touched up with any paint either. So, but I'm gonna do that. And we do have some rust in the usual places. It's usually here on the lower rails that you see it, in the front here and at the very front, down here and up here and up here. Around the shocks I think they put on grease and not dried off everything, but both up and down, and around all the needle bearings here has been greased up, and all the excessive grease has not been wiped off. There's a lot of it around here. We can tell it's grease, and up in here as well, where I didn't get much up with the pressure washer. Let's pull it out to see. Yeah, so get all that cleaned up, get new nets for the Nerf bars, touch up with some paint around everywhere. It looks this is the worst looking part of the engine, I think, the cover for the stator here. Frame rail, except for the rust we see on the left here, looks really good in my opinion. As we move on to the subframe, very little rust on that as well. There's some small specks here and there, to be expected. This quad is now 20 years old. Some scratches on the swing arm, and it did have the chain guide in the back here. I just pulled it off to clean it properly. Yeah, may put back on the original one, or maybe do an aftermarket one. We'll see. Airbox is complete, as I said, with the lid on. So we go over to the other side. Yeah, subframe looks nice. The OEM exhaust, of course, it's not always rust what you see, but I guess maybe we have some here. Gonna clean that up a lot better. The rest of it doesn't look too bad in the back here. We'll see. Probably if I'm gonna keep this bike for myself, there's gonna be a Yoshi on here, complete full Yoshi. I like those for these LTRs, and with a cherry bomb on there, we got good power. Yeah, some surface rust back here. The axle seems straight and there's no play here either. Very tight. It's just the tires moving. It didn't come with these tires, came with the stock 8-inch, but with bigger tires, 20s, same brand as they replaced the front with here, and 21s in the front here. And as we look inside the engine here, on this side, very little boot rub on the clutch cover, some rust on the exhaust, on the heat shield there, the nuts there, or bolts if you like. And but other than that, there's not a lot of rust on anything else. The clips on the hoses there and everything looks really nice. And there again, oil or grease or whatever is around everywhere where there's bearings or seals or whatever. So I am actually considering buying a brand new front fender here. To put on it. We'll see. They changed the bars, of course, after the tumble. I'm gonna guess they bent the bars then. You can see at the front and the rear fender. I can make the rear fender look nicer. That was just initially I was just removing a lot of that. I think it's maybe overspray they got on here. Still some left. I'm gonna go over it again. I did wash it after using the lacquer remover, lacquer thinner, and use some soap with polish in it, and then I have some silicone spray on some of the other stuff. Just like to keep it protected. Dry it off, put on some silicone spray. They will look a lot better. So clean out the gas, new swirl filter on it. That's the next thing to do. Give it an oil change, new oil filter, new air filter, and then we'll see how it runs. Yeah, through the lens here it looks pretty good already, except for that horrible netting. And if I'm gonna keep it myself, there's gonna be some better Nerf bars there. We'll see what we can get for it. Factory 43s, that's on the wish list. Factory 43 grab bar as well. With the bend downwards, so it's easier to lift if you get stuck in the track or anywhere else. Yeah. Tell me what you think. Oh yeah, and price wise, yep, this was less than $3,000 to buy. Too much? No, I don't think so. I don't think I overpaid with the market, how it is these days. Saddle is nice, although there will be an anti-gripper cover on it if it's going to be used as it is. I do have another seat or two that I can put a cover on, maybe from Forworks, as I've done in the past. We'll see which one we put on there. Depends on how I envision the quad fully. Not fully. It's gonna be a rolling rest though, as I've done with a few other quads. Not gonna put too much money on it, but there's gonna be some new wheels and tires as well. Just change the parts that needs to be changed. I'm gonna buy some new nets for those Nerf bars, even though I might not be using these, but someone else might, and they are not too expensive to buy replacement nets of this style. You can buy some universal styles of these, pretty much the same one they use for Alba Nerf bars and everything. These are actually made by, I'm not sure they're made by them, but I think it's the Goldspeed brand that sold these. You got complete Nerfs also from them with the integrated heel guards and everything, although that's not sitting on here. Yeah, that's it for this bike now. There's gonna be a follow-up on this, of course. Maybe I'll set the camera rolling as I work on it. It's not gonna be today. I'm a bit under the weather. I've got some kind of cold, some kind of virus, I think. So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not, but yeah, it's a bit crappy. So get back to you. See you later, guys. Bye.